good? Oh, it's you. Good to see you.
Hello bro. सुन्छ ए मेरो फोनको ब्याट्री डेड हुनु लागेको छ क्या तर आई थिंक इट शुड बी अलराइट म रिचार्ज पनि गर्दैछु ए एकैछिन म यहाँ हार्भेस्टहरुको के छ कि एक्स्ट्रा खोज्दै छु बाइ द वे नि मैले हर्बको हार्भेस्ट गर्दै क्या मेरो हर्ब त सबै सिक्दै छ यार किन लास्ट ब्याटलमा क्या डेन्जर युज अप भयो नि त मेरो पोसनहरु के अनि सबै हर्बहरु सिक्दै छ हर्ब त्यति साह्रो इम्पोर्टेन्ट छ र कि किन्नु मिल्छ नि हैन पोसनहरु मैले कहाँ पो कोसँग एकचोटी सेलर हो कि कोसँग पुग्दाखेरि मलाई अप्सन दिएको थियो पोसनहरु किन्नु कोइनले जेनीले जस्तै हेर है म यो क्या प्लस कोइन त कति धेरै पाउँदो रहेछ सो माइ एज वेल मेक युज अफ इट भनेर क्या यो क्या हेर मैले यो बिटर बकको कल्टिभेटिङ गरिहाल्छु हार्भेस्ट गरिहाल्छु तर मलाई हर्ब गर्नु लागेको थियो कि तर फेरि यसो सोचे कहाँ त्यो पोसनहरु किन्नु मिल्थ्यो नि त पहिला के देखेको थिएँ क्या अनि बरु किन्नु पर्ला जेनीले नै मेरो 200 के रे ए हो हनी हैन मैले धन्न हनी चाहिँ फार्म गरिसकेको थिएँ अघि अखरै कति कलेक्ट गरे हनी अलमोस्ट 16 वटा जति सो मेन त हनी पो गर्नुपर्छ फार्म यो बग इम्पोर्टेन्ट छ ब्रो बिटर बग ए हो त्यसरी चलाउँदैन छ ब्रोले मैले खासै नलबेरी हार्भेस्ट गर्न लागेको थिएँ किन नलबेरी चाहिँ छैन फेरि यहाँ ए क्राफ्टिङ पो गर्नुपर्ने ए आफै यो ल्याचपेरीहरु जस्तै नलबेरी होला नि सोचेको त ए त्यसो म हनी चाहिँ फेरि हनी एकदम इम्पोर्टेन्ट जस्तो छ त्यसमा हनी हार्भेस्ट गर्छु है त ओके त्यही गर्नु पर्ला अनि मेगा पोसनमा टर्न गर्नु पर्ला हैन हनी मात्रै हार्भेस्ट गर्दै हुन्छ नि हैन यो मैले क्या +2 कसरी पो बनाएको थिएँ आई फरगट यार एक्स्ट्रा पाउँछ अरे नि हैन स्ट्रिममा देख्छ कि देख्दैन हैन यो +2 छ नि आई फरगट हाउ टु डु इट
त्यो कल्टिभेटमा अलिक राम्रो खालके हाल न ब्याक गएर कल्टिभेटमा अलिक राम्रो सबैभन्दा महँगो होला
कसरी गर्नु कल्टिभेट यहाँ थिचेको यो आयो त
ए फर्टिलाइज बोले हालिसकेछ प्लान्ट हार्भेस्ट हालिसकेछ
ए हो यसो अब चेन्ज ब्याक गर्नु मिल्दैन
पछि मिल्छ
ओके सो यो ताल चाहिँ यही हो हार्भेस्टको चाहिँ फेरि हनी है त हनी किन्नु मिल्छ कि मिल्दैन बाइ द वे
हनी मिल्दैन
किन्नु मिल्दैन सो हनी चाहिँ एकदम इम्पोर्टेन्ट रहेछ द्याट मिन्स ओके हनी अनि नलबरी पनि इम्पोर्टेन्ट लाग्यो के चाहिँ इम्पोर्टेन्ट स्टफहरू हार्भेस्ट गर्नुपर्ने ब्रो एन्टिडोट त क्राफ्टिङ होइन एन्टिडोटको पार्ट चाहिँ के हो ल्याचबेरी हो ए हर्ब हो ए त्यो पनि मैले हर्ब शिट हर्ब त मसँग यहाँ छैन त लिस्टमा इज इट यो आइटम लिस्टमा हुनुको लागि त्यो हर्ब हामीसँग हुनुपर्छ हो ए म एकछिन बक्स चेक गर्छु है त ओके मैले हनी हार्भेस्ट गर्दै त्यो मेल्टिङको लेडी चाहिँ कहाँ छ
यो सबै यो ब्रो यो कोहरु छ नि एक्सप्लोरेसन मा आएको मान्छे
क्वेस्ट छ हैन
यो सबै एक्सेप्ट गरे
ए ओके
हेलो
पटमा बसिरहेको मान्छेको अगाडि पनि
ब्रोले यो रिड गर्छ सबै यिनीहरूले भनेको
म त लास्टमा के मार्नु भन्छ त्यो मात्रै
ए ओके सो म सबै एक्सेप्ट गरेँ त पछि यो यिनीहरूले भनेको सबै एक्सप्लेन पनि गर्छ नि होइन क्वेस्टमै इनकेस पाउनु पर्यो नि अहिले त म जस्ट एक्सेप्ट मात्रै गरेको ए ओके सो जस्ट एक्सेप्ट गरिदिन्छु Excuse me.
Let me explain.
Alright, you're next.
Good to see you. Good luck.
यही हो मेल्टिङमा भनेको ए स्ट्रिम ठिकै क्लियर आइरहेछ ब्रो ए आई सी ओके अलराइट म यो मेल्डरसँग गर्दै I see. एकछिन म इन्टरेक्ट गरेँ ए ओके I'll test Hunter has been alright mailed item I see मेगा पोशन को लागि हैन वो मैक्स पोशन पनि रहेछ त यो एकदमै इम्पोर्टेन्ट रहेछ मैक्स पोशन एउटा बोकी राख्नु रहेछ यो मैले ट्राई नि हिजो यार त्यो सँग के त्यो भ्याम्पायर डग हो को भन्दै थियो नि आफु ब्रोले के मेरो लास्ट फाइट के हिजो बससँग I had to use one of those यार झन्डै मरेको थियो के एक मेगा पोशन रहेछ क्लिक गर्नु हो ब्रोसमा के भयो मेल्टिङ पोइन्ट निडेड 10 पोइन्ट्स आई सी यो मेगा पोशन बनाउनु चाहिँ अरे योदेखि पनि बनाउनु मिल्दो रहेछ मेगा पोशन ओके So ए एकछिन लेट्स सी के रहेछ यसको आम्बो धेरै रहेछ नि यसको त Catalyst. You actually, I think I might need Nullberry yet. Only thing is, I don't know if these are needed for with the bro. You iron ore or like crafting ko lagi क्या? Crafting ले forge को लागि क्या? Upgrade होने को लागि. यो यो ड्रागनाइट ओर र यो के हो म्यासलाइट ओर यिनीहरू चाहिँ चाहिन्छ यिनीहरू इम्पोर्टेन्ट छ 0 सो आई निड टु 10 वटा जति पोइन्ट गर्नु पर्छ रहेछ है ओके यो गरौँ एउटा and then I give this one huh what am I doing result right I didn't see that okay so okay pass छोडिदिउँ है त ड्रागनाइट ओर त डेन्जर रहेछ नि एक्सपेन्सिभ एउटाले नि अलमोस्ट हाफ बार यो एउटा दिन्छु ए सो यसरी क्राफ्ट गर्नु मिल्दो रहेछ नि त हैन आई थिंक दिज आर अल क्र्यापी वन्स ओके चारटा बनाउनु पर्ला नलबरी त्यसो खाली लिएर जानु पर्दो रहेछ है ब्रो लाइक ब्ल्याङ्क क्या आफ्नो पाउच page 2 मा एकैछिन है I'll just keep these one I think 6 enough हुन्छ होला page 2 मा demon powder heart shell powder farcaster trank bomb poison meat Hey, sorry. How do I go to that? Hey, I see. Hey, na? Okay. Bone चाहिन्छ मलाई थाहा छैन के लाइक यो उतिहरुमा चाहिदैन आर्मरहरुमा के ए अलि दिन्छ पछि यिनीहरुहरु बोनहरु पनि चाहिन्छ हैन क्राफ्टिङको लागि ए वेस्ट हुन्छ ओके तर ब्रोनहरु चाहिँ के ब्रोले एकचोटी भनेको थियो नि बोनहरु एकदम इम्पोर्टेन्ट छ भनेर मैले चाहिँ कलेक्ट गरेको छु के ए ओके त्यो चाहिँ पछि आउँछ ब्रो अल डिफेन्डर मच सुपिरियर छ हैन मच सुपिरियर छ नि हैन अहिले ओके सो एक दुईवटा दिन्छु है त के एस भनेको चाहिँ सबभन्दा दामी हैन स्मल पो हो म त एस टियर होला भने 12 वटा दिन्छु यो झन् त रहेछ नि 10 पनि ए भ्याली त्यही रहेछ नि म नदेखेको क्या यतिले हुन्छ ल भयो मेगा पर्सेन्ट चाहिँ डेन्जर हुन्छ यतिले पुग्छ होला ए ला त्यो युजफुल छैन यो ब्रो यो युजफुल छैन ए के विक हो त्यो चाहिँ कम्पेयर टु डिफेन्डर ए ओके दुईटा भने ओके इनफ भयो होला आई थिङ्क ब्रो नलबेरी बोर्ड बढाउँछु अलिकति ब्रो नलबेरी एकदम इम्पोर्टेन्ट रहेछ हौ बोर्ड वाइफ औ शिट सबै सिद्धिसकेछ यार यति त राख्नु पर्ला है ब्रो कोरल बोन मेन त पाउच क्लियर गर्नु पर्ला हौ ब्रो किन सो द्याट जति सक्दो लुटहरू के बक्समा हैन ए ओके कुल यसको नि यदि गर्दै हाल्नु क्वेस्ट
Oh, that's right. Hurry back now.
and then के पो गर्नु लाग्यो मैले कति गरे मेरो बक्सकै कता पो छ बक्स यहाँ छैन बक्स let me see top right question mark search ancient forest hey search the ancient forest for the first Wyverian clues एउटा वेपन चलाएको जस्तो लाग्यो हो मैले Wyverian ए ड्रागनको नाम हो Wyverian Oh, I see. म त एउटा चिपो चलाएको थिएँ Wyverian if I'm not mistaken झलक्क अलिक सम्झे Is there a weapon called Wyverian? ए something like that definitely एउटा चलाएको थिएँ मैले I remember किन नाम आएको थियो के Alright मेरो बक्समा हेर्छु है आइटमहरु I think I need to unload I don't think I need your dragon barrier did mister Bro यो juicy dried meat पनि quite useful थियो यार त्यो हिजो फाइट गर्दाखेरि यसले उतिहरु सबै क्युर गर्दिएको थियो यार हो कि ब्लिडिङहरु स्टप गर्दिएको थियो यार एक दुई चोटी Have you tried this one bro jerky यसले मेरो ब्लिडिङ एक दुई चोटी स्टप गर्दिएको थियो यार I don't think I need this सबै हाल्दिन्छु empty fuel सो सबै क्लियर गर्नुपर्ने रहेछ ब्रो है हर्बहरु मलाई चाहिदैन नि कि बोकिराख्नु हर्बहरु एक दुईवटा ब्रोले बोक्छ हर्बहरु हो यो मशरुमहरु पोइजन स्मोक बम चाहिँ यो मैले नट्सहरु चलाएकै छैन यार स्मोक नट्सहरु सो I might as well Oh yeah, honeyहरु हेर्छु हर्बल पाउडर लक्स ब्रोले लक्स नि हैन ओके त्यो राख्छु ए डङ पट त लक्स नि हैन आफुले फ्ल्याश पड
ड्यासबोर्डले गर्छ
ए चाहिन्छ सो अहिले what you are seeing on the screen pretty much यो एक्साइट मशरूम चाहिँ के हो नि
सक ट्र्याप लगेको
यो सक मशरूम पनि चाहिँदैन होला ए एक्साइट मशरूम पनि चाहिँदैन होला है
त्यो पनि
अलराइट सो एउटा उ त्यो बोक्छु है त ट्र्याप सक ट्र्याप छ भने
सक ट्र्याप प्लस लाइट अनि
सक ट्र्याप मेरो सिद्धि जस्तो छ यार ब्रो क्राफ्ट गर्नुपर्छ यो हो ए यो हो नि त है सक ट्र्याप त एकदमै युजफुल रहेछ ब्रो तर एउटा मात्रै बोक्नु दिँदो रहेछ सक ट्र्याप अनि कुन चाहिँ अर्को भनेको ब्रो Where's the other one? Kuncho Max Potion. This one? Energy drink? Huh? Dust of Life. ए यही हो डस्ट अफ लाइफ जरुरत हरियो आउने मेरो क्याटले हो कि कसले दिन्छ नि कोही कोही बेला ओके यो कतिवटा जति बोकु ओन्ली दुईटा मात्रै दिन्छ दुईटा मात्रै बोक्नु दिन्छ हो डस्ट अफ लाइफ ओके डस्ट अफ लाइफ बोके एन्ड देन कुन चाहिँ अर्को ट्र्याप भनेको थियो ब्रोले म्याक्स पोसन वेयर इज इट Yo. Oh yeah, I thought I had this one. छैन रहेछ यो पनि एउटा मात्रै दिँदो रहेछ हैन anything else I need to carry ए I think I might need Nullberry here अलिकति Nullberry एकदमै हेल्पफुल रहेछ है Nullberry 10 वटा जति म्याक्स बोक्नु पर्ला नि हैन ओके 10 बोके अरु त के चाहिन्छ what do I need अझ छैन होला है Alright, shock trap or trap. Okay, I think that should be enough, right? Crafting only गर्नु पर्ला bro with your Nullberry. किन मैले हनी किने नि त 27 वटा बुक बनाइदिउँ ए यो गर्दिउ अलि ब्रो 27 वटा गराइदिउँ फेरि अर्को ए हब रे ओके I think only 5 मात्रै बनाउनु मिल्छ ओके एन्ड देन मेगा पोसन हैन हनी युज गरेर नम्बर 50 भयो हर्बल मेसिन पनि बनाइदे है ए के इन्ग्रेडिएन्ट चाहिँदो रहेछ त्यसमा ब्लू मशरूम हैन एन्ड र एन्टिडोट ओके ओके हर्बल मेडिसिन अरु त छैन त हर्बल पाउडर बनाइदे यो सबै बनाइदिनु बेसिकली सबै बनाइदिनु त्यो ए फ्ल्याश पट बनाउनु पर्छ गन पाउडर यो फ्ल्याश पटले चाहिँ के गर्छ चाहिने यो मलाई चाहिँदैन हो अहिले हैन पियर्सहरु के त एफेक्ट त छ मेरो वेपन नै छैन चलाउने एमो चाहिँ चाहिन्छ हैन ब्रो विथ मेरो लाइट बो छ नि हैन एमो हो कि कोटिङ पो हो नचाहिने आई थिंक एमो चाहिँ चाहिन्छ आई थिंक आई विल मेक दिस एमो This is normal ammo. कुन चाहिँ ammo त infinite थियो नि Okay. Alright, enough for us as a crafting. अहिलेको लागि. Alright, let's see. Let's train गर्नु पुग्यो होला है त्यति बेला त enough आइटमहरु just required आइटमहरु सबै छ ब्याटलको लागि अरे मेगा पोसन त अलि 5 मात्रै मसँग हाउ एकैछिन है म फिल गर्छु दस अरे इभन जस्ट इन केस ब्याकअपको लागि राखिरहेको छु यसले दुईटा बोकेको राम्रो रहेछ है जस्ट इन केस कि अर्कोमा फेरि हाल्नु मिल्छ मेगा पोसन मिल्दैन रहेछ है न मेगा पोसन 3-4 वटा 10 गरेर बोकौँ भनेको Alright, no worries. 10 mega potion. यो beef jerky चाहिँ पनि बोक्छु यार यसले 5 वटा दिन्छ यसले पनि के क्युर गर्दो रहेछ त ब्रो यार Have you tried this one? ए क्युर ब्लिडिङ रहेछ नि त त्यही लेखेको रहेछ यार ए मैले हिजो यही चलाएको थिएँ अनि मात्रै बाचे यार नन्द झन्डै Alright, I think it's done. Hold on, you cure. Healing powder. Do I need more? I don't think I need antidotes as well. Okay, I think that should be enough. Alright. Time to go for training now. Quickly here's a video, YouTube and then I'll try to learn. अहिले के अपग्रेड त गर्नु मिल्दैन नि हैन मेरो उदेहरु कि चेक गर्नु पर्छ यार
स्टोरी प्रोग्रेस तर ब्रोको लेभल डिफेन्डर लेभल 3 को टाइम आउन आयो
ए लेभल 3
तर अब प्रोलाई किन वेपन चलाउन मन छ भने त्यो मन्स्टर 3 पल्ट मार्नु पर्यो
मैले एउटा one thing नोटिस गरेँ के कम्ब्याटमा एभ्री हिट म्याटर हुँदो रहेछ क्या एकैछिन है रहेछ यस्तो घुमाउने हान्नु मिल्दैन लाइक वान्स यस्तो गरे हैन अनि सट्ट स्विप गर्ने त्यो कम्बो सिक्नु मन रहेछ किन यसो घुमाए भने लङ रेन्ज भेट्छ नि हो दिस इज द वान ओके अलराइट यो कम्बो राम्रो लाग्यो ब्रो मलाई एन्ड देन किन I wanted यो रेन्ज हैन फेरि I see यो triangle चाहिँ उयो रहेछ के लाइक ब्रो त्यसरी ठक्क गरेर गएर अनि स्टेसनरी हुँदाखेरि डुङ हानेर यसरी तर I think लङ अलिक भेट्नुको लागि चाहिँ sometimes triangle हान्यो No, not this one. It is thirst was okay. कसरी पो गयो अघि ओके यो रहेछ ब्रो R2 र यो कति ड्यामेज गर्दैछ यसले चाहिँ हेरौँ त Oh, not too bad. At least भेट्छ नि त्यसरी भेट्छ के Alright. So I think I'll use this in combo. Oh, okay. Charge up पनि गरिदिँदो रहेछ छ भने हैन Nice. यसो गर्नु पर्ला त्यो यो गर्छु नि लास्ट टाइम त स्विङ गर्छु 1 2 3 and then 4 1 2 3 and then 4 यो कम्बो ठीक छ I'll do 1 हैन म आफै प्र्याक्टिस गरेको युट्युबमा अब हेर्छु युट्युबमा है म यहाँ सबै रिचार्ज गर्दैछु के फोन पनि मेरो ट्याब पनि अनि के हेर्नै पाएको छैन एकछिन यो म अर्को ट्याबमा हेर्छु है रिचार्ज गरेको just a second let me see quickly यसको मास्टर गरेपछि कम्बो इजी हुन्छ कि आफुलाई थाहा छ यसको त थाहा छैन होला है Let me just quickly check. त्यो मेन चाहिँ त्यो थर्स्ट गर्दा उफ्रिनु चाहिँ के मैले एउटा हेरेको थिएँ भिडियो कहाँको भिडियो भन्दा लाइक वेपनको बारे के दिसले के भयो मेरो फ्रोज भयो यार के छैन ओके मोन्स्टर Hunter Longsword combo
Ryomare Tsuka, the best tuna in the finest olive oil. Ryomare, real Italian taste.
What's up guys, it's Project and welcome to my weapon guides for Monster Hunter World. These guides are aimed specifically at the best combos of a weapon to get the most DPS out of them, but I'll also explain the mechanics and role of a weapon for new players to get a better understanding about the weapon they plan to use. So I'm not going to waste your time by covering every move, as in my opinion, such guides aren't needed anymore when we have the training room now and with damage numbers to show what does what. As complex as Monster Hunter is, it can be simplified to just using specific moves to deal the most damage. Most, if not all, weapons have a special quirky attack that can deal a lot of damage, and usually speed killers abuse these attack patterns to dish out the most damage. So my guides will act as a step towards that direction. Of course, you can use all the moves the weapons have to offer, and there might be some things I miss or are more useful as utility, but more often than not, the combos I'll show are the attacks you want to use the most. Before I begin, just know I play the PS4 version and have my controls to swap R2 with R1, so whenever I refer to R1, it's R2 if you're using the default scheme, or whatever it is on Xbox. I also did every test naked, no armor or charms equipped, nor buffs used. Since we're one day away from the third beta, which is going to feature Nergigante to fight, here's a guide to help those who want to try this weapon and be effective with it, and that weapon is the Longsword. The Longsword is a cutting weapon type, and it's perhaps the most balanced weapon in terms of reach, damage, mobility, and types you want to forge. Almost all of its attacks can flow into each other, and it retains that combo-heavy style and world. This is perhaps my most recommended weapon for new players, as it's not as slow as some of the other melee weapons, but it also teaches the importance of building up towards a combo and timing an evade or big attack correctly. Longswords have a special gauge called the Spirit Gauge, which is filled up by doing various attacks, and once you fill it enough, you can perform various special combos to increase the Spirit Gauge level. There are 3 levels above the default one, and are represented by colors that surround the gauge. The first stage is white, second yellow, and the final one, red.
Hey, go.
increases
Stage
your
right, I didn't even know.
So it goes without saying that the main goal is to reach the last stage and stay in red as often as you can, especially for the combos I'll mention. Do keep in mind this gauge depletes over time, so it's best to keep refreshing it even if you're in red. I'd like to point out that the longsword has an evasive move called Fade Slash, where the standard attack swipes you backwards. However, if you use it after a different attack, you can swipe backwards as well as to the left or the right. This is useful in repositioning or dodging an attack while simultaneously getting in an extra attack, unlike a roll. As mentioned, when it comes to forging, the longsword is good with nearly every type of element, high physical only or high affinity, so it really works with any kind of weapon you want to forge. Do keep in mind, however, because of the long range and speed of attacks, longsword tends to deplete sharpness faster than most weapons, so plan the weapons you want to forge with that in mind.
Combo 1.
The first combo is the bread and butter combo for longsword, using normal attacks to build up spirit gauge bar in order to pull off the spirit blade combo. A series of attacks that once the final hit is landed, spirit round slash, it increases your spirit gauge one stage. It also is bounce proof, meaning you won't bounce off monsters when using the spirit blade combo. Again, for importance sake, your final hits of the spirit blade combo has to land in order to increase the gauge, so time to use the combo wisely. The Spirit Blade combo itself consumes Spirit Gauge bar, and to be able to use the final hit usually requires 75% of the bar to be filled. So from 0%, simply attacking with triangle 4 times fills the bar enough usually to be able to perform the full Spirit Blade combo. But just know that you can skip that part if you already have around 75% of the bar filled to go straight into the Spirit Blade portion of the combo. A variant of combo 1 is using triangle into Fade Slash into Spirit Blade combo, which might be faster to build gauge. However, I forgot to record it, but I remember some speed killers using it and it seemed effective. In any case, these combos are only a means to build up to combo 3, the real damage dealer.
Combo 2.
The second combo, like the first, is partly only to build up to red spirit gauge. However, this combo is reactionary and dependent on the monsters attacking you or roaring. It utilizes the new move added to World for Longsword, the Foresight Slash. This move not only grants you invincibility temporarily, but it also can combo straight into the final Spirit Blade hit to build gauge stages, and it doesn't require you to have any gauge bar at all to pull it off. The downside is you can only use the attack during the animation of another attack, meaning you have to attack beforehand in order to pull it off, which is fairly difficult to time. However, if you can master it, you can be nearly invincible with longsword and always maximize damage the fastest. Just keep in mind the invincibility period is short, so attacks that last over 1 or 2 seconds will end up hitting you, such as Diablos' rush attack. I usually use triangle or circle to set up the Foresight Slash, the thrust being slightly quicker while the downward slash being slightly longer, depending on how soon you need to use Foresight Slash.
के भन्दैन है यो त त्यसरी राम्रो एक्सप्लेनेसन
So,
दिएन
attacks that last over, you can only use the attack during the
कुन
animation
चाहिँ
of another attack, meaning
एकचोटी
you
यो
have
पज
to
गर्छ है
attack before.
अलिकति यहाँ चाहिँ ट्रायंगल ट्रायंगल एकैचोटि यो ट्राई गर्छु त क्विकली ए यसले एउटा देखाएको छ यो ट्रायंगल अरे यो ट्रायंगल flash slash and then forward slash huh? R1 भनेको त्यसले अघि भनेको थियो नि R2 हैन ओके आई गेट इट नाउ ए यो रहेछ ब्रो ए के रे
व्हाट्सएपबाट भिडियो पठाएको
ए
त्यसको राम्रो छ गाइडहरू
ए ओके हेर्छु है त्यो पनि यसको त उयो रहेछ क्या बटन पनि डिफ्रेन्ट कन्फिगर रहेछ कि R1 भनेको यसको चाहिँ हाम्रो चाहिँ R2 रहेछ मैले गरेँ त्यो यो कम्बो त गरेँ यसले भर्खर भनेको बस्छ खोइ छैन
मैले पनि ग्रेट सर्ट त्यसकोबाट सिकेको हो त्यसले राम्रो सिकाउँछ
ए long sword new moves guide हैन
यसले चाहिँ यस्तो एकदम मजाले डिटेल सिकाउँछ
ए यो आरकेएस गेम मैले यही चलाउँथेँ एक्चुअली ब्रो यो आरकेएस गेम छ मसँग पनि पकाइ यो एकैछिन है यसको म हेर्छु यहाँ अर्कै मेरो ट्याबमा चलाउँछ है ए पाए मोन्स्टर हन्टर लङ शोट तर यो कम्बो पनि मैले सिकेँ भर्खरै ब्रो यो रहेछ नि त
What's going on guys, Aaron here, welcome back to another Monster Hunter World video and the next episode in my Weapon Workshop tutorial series. This is the series where I go over absolutely everything you could possibly want to know about a given weapon, right from the basic moves available to you, all the way up to the main, most efficient combos you should be using and some overarching weapon theory. If you guys missed last week's episode, then I went over how to use the bow, and over the course of the next few weeks, I'll be putting together guides to cover each of the 14 weapons in Monster Hunter World, and today we're continuing that by turning our attention to the longsword. The longsword is an elegant weapon that offers both speed and power. Where some of the other, more heavy-hitting weapons in the game see your mobility take a hit as a trade-off, the longsword falls nicely in between, allowing you to remain mobile at all times, while still dishing out some great damage numbers. It's also a weapon with a relatively simple moveset, making it a great option to pick up if you're new to the series, but in the right hands, it's also a devastating weapon. The long blade allows hunters to attack parts of the monster often out of reach of some other weapons, and the inbuilt spirit meter gives you a way to further increase your damage output, as well as allowing you to pull off some incredibly flashy moves. In short, there's no wonder the longsword is one of the most popular weapons in the game. Now, before we dive in and go over the core moves for the weapon, let's take a moment to very quickly speak about the spirit meter, since this mechanic underpins the entire longsword playstyle, and as such it's good to have an understanding of this before we press on. At the top of the screen you have this meter. This is your spirit meter. Whenever you land an attack with the longsword, this will gradually fill up. This resource can then be expended by performing what are known as spirit attacks. We'll go over exactly how you do these in just a moment, but the spirit combo ends in a roundhouse slash, and this final hit is without question the most important hit. If the final hit lands, you'll notice that both your blade and the gauge itself begin to glow white. This glow then provides you with a small attack boost. However, if you repeat this process and land another roundhouse slash, it'll go yellow, giving you a greater attack boost, and if you do it once more, it'll go red, giving you an even greater attack boost. The meter will gradually deplete over time, and if it isn't topped up before that happens, then it will drop down a level, going from red to yellow, yellow to white, and white and down to nothing. However, new to Monster Hunter World, this gauge is also a resource for one of the new flashy and high damage moves, the Spirit Helm Breaker. So all whilst you're playing with this weapon, you need to keep that spirit meter and your gauge levels at the forefront of your mind. So, with all of that covered, now let's go over the moves. Pressing triangle from idle will perform a standard overhead slash, but you can then press triangle a further 3 times to do the standard triangle combo. 2 overhead slashes into a thrust and then into a rising slash. This is your bread and butter longsword combo, and it's the way that you'll be building a spirit meter. Furthermore, this combo can be looped indefinitely, so it doesn't actually stop after the 4th hit. You can in fact continue to press triangle as much as you like. Also, given that the longsword is a very mobile weapon, you can press X at any point during the combo to evade out should you lose your opening or the monster turn to attack you.
Okay.
Pressing circle performs a standalone thrust, the same thrust from the triangle combo, and you can also go directly from this back into that same combo. So circle, triangle, triangle, repeat. Also, you can sub the circle input into the regular triangle combo too, but since it does the exact same thing, its main purpose is if you want to skip the second overhead slash and dive right into the main looping combo. Overhead slash, stab into rising slash. You might then be thinking to yourself, well, isn't circle a bit of a useless move if it's essentially a copy of a move that's already present in the regular combo? And the answer is no, not at all. On the contrary, the circle input is incredibly useful when paired with other moves, given that it's faster than your opening triangle attack. So in situations where you need to perform an attack before being able to trigger a follow-up move, circle will be your go-to. Pressing triangle and circle together will perform the fade slash. By default, you will swipe in front of you and hop backwards. This is an incredibly important move for repositioning, or if timed correctly, dodging a monster's attack. When you first pick up the weapon, you might wonder whether this move is really that important, but once you master it, it'll become one of your most useful tools in combat. The fade slash, much like the evade roll, can also be worked into the triangle combo at any point, and if you input a direction with this, you can also fade slash to the left or to the right. But keep in mind, this latter one only works following an attack, since doing it from neutral will just see your character hop backwards. Pressing R2 will then perform the first hit of your spirit combo, and pressing R2 4 times consecutively will complete said combo. However, keep in mind that this combo uses and relies on the spirit meter. In order to pull off a complete spirit combo, this meter needs to be almost full. And as discussed at the beginning of the video, if the final hit lands, this is what will see your gauge level up, so to speak. You'll get the white glow, followed by yellow, and then red, with subsequent roundhouse slashes.
Last
final
combo
hit
that
swings
doesn't put
a
it right. You played good.
arc, so it's actually pretty generous, and therefore often gives you plenty of room to clip part of the monster, even if it appears to be almost out of range. You can also input a direction during the spirit combo to gradually turn in that direction, so if the monster is moving, try to do this so as to ensure that final hit lands. Furthermore, if you press R2 following a fade slash, you can skip the first hit of the spirit combo and dive right into a spirit jumping slash and then into the final two hits of the combo. Since the first hit of the default spirit combo is a little slow, this is often seen as a sort of shortcut, if you will, into the meat of the spirit combo. But further to that, it just provides you with great follow-up options off the back of a fade slash. If you use it to reposition or dodge, you can then press R2 to dive right back into the action and aim to max out that gauge. Something else that's incredibly important to note is that the spirit combo has natural mind's eye, meaning you can attack a monster in a location that would otherwise cause your attacks to bounce, but this will cut right through it. Your sharpness will take a hit as a result, but it won't stop you landing the attack, and that means it makes it much easier to secure the final hit. In addition to this, if you begin the spirit combo a little early, let's say you only have half meter, and therefore don't have enough to complete the combo, you can actually work a triangle attack in between the first two hits to build a little extra meter mid-combo. Sure, it's a little slower overall, but let's say you began the combo a little uncertain as to whether you had the opening, but then the monster falls down or gets trapped, and the opening presents itself. Then you can do this as a means to top up the meter enough to let you complete the spirit combo. So R2 triangle, R2 triangle, R2 R2. Also keep in mind that if your weapon is sheathed, you can draw directly into the spirit combo by pressing R2. Now, new in Monster Hunter World is the Spirit Helm Breaker. This is the flashy move where you drive your sword into the monster, launch yourself into the air, and then come crashing down, performing a vertical slice, whilst looking like a character straight out of an anime. This new move, however, relies on your gauge being charged up, since it uses that as a resource to perform the attack. Sure, you can hold down R2 and press triangle to perform the attack any time, but without gauge, it won't actually do anything. However, provided you have at least wide charge, then upon landing the Spirit Thrust on the monster, your character will launch up into the air and come crashing down with this powerful slash. Once you've launched, you don't actually have to press anything else, since you'll come down anyway. However, as I'm sure you've no doubt noticed, with no additional input...
Hey bro, why is on the ball, isn't it?
If the initial thrust misses, you're free to try again, but if it connects, even if the follow-up Helmbreaker misses, you'll gain
I finally know now.
So with that in mind, once you're airborne, if you push your analog stick in the direction of the monster, or the direction that you want the hit to land, and press either triangle or circle, either one works, they're both attack buttons. That'll then allow you to alter the angle or the direction of the Spirit Helm Breaker, ensuring that you always land the attack.
So white brown brothers are possible, bro?
In addition to this doing a lot of damage, if this attack lands, your spirit
so basically the only way to do it is
fill for a short period of time, which is
you possible
so it would be in your interest to work on refilling that soon after.
यो मोडमा
Now, this
जानुपर्छ
is
हैन अनि लास्ट
how
फाइनल हिट बनाउनु पर्छ
you want to take frequent advantage of, but it's also important to know when to use it. First and foremost,
Yo,
Spirit
अब यो
Helm
white
Breaker
bone
is
हैन
also
bro
affected by the level
and then
of
you
the
can
Spirit
perform
gauge. In other words, a Spirit Helm Breaker done from white gauge is not as powerful as one done from yellow, which is not as powerful as one done from red. So while it might be tempting to just use this the second you have charge,
अब यो रेड मान भयो
if you really
bro
want to be doing some serious damage, your playstyle should focus around building up to red meter first, and then
so यो
its
फाइनल
attack.
हिट चाहिँ एकदमै
Furthermore, I
इम्पोर्टेन्ट रहेछ
mentioned
bro
just a moment ago that following a successful Helm Breaker, your Spirit Gauge auto refills for a period of time. Well, the speed at which it refills also correlates to the level of Helm Breaker. In other words, not only does a Helm Breaker from red do more damage, but it also provides the fastest possible Spirit generation too. So I can't stress enough how much red should be your priority. Even if it takes you an extra 30 seconds or even a minute to get there in combat, it's well worth it in the long run. Moving on from there, another new move introduced in World is the Foresight Slash. This is essentially your counter move. This has to follow an attack, but if you press R2 and circle together, you'll evade backwards and then move back in with a slice. Now this in itself has a very generous invulnerability window, so you can use it to dodge attacks, but there's more to it than that. If you're hit during the Foresight Slash, you'll see this blue particle effect. Following this, if you're able to land the attack when moving back in, you can then press R2 straight after to go directly into
yellow
the Spirit
away.
Roundhouse Slash. In other words,
heal
the
up again.
final hit of the Spirit combo that levels up your gauge. So this is, without a doubt, the fastest way to level up your meter, provided you can pull it off. Yes, it's a little bit risky, but given how generous the window is, if you can get the habit of pulling this off as the monster is running towards you, it becomes very easy
यो
to
मेन
then land.
एकदम लास्ट फाइनल ब्लो चाहिँ
Worth
हिट
noting that
गर्नुपर्छ
this doesn't need Spirit Meter in order to pull off, but if you have Spirit Meter, that's the red
यो
inside the bar,
सबभन्दा
not the
maximum
bar on the
damage bro
outside.
अब
If you have this when performing the move, it will consume it anyway. The reason I say it's not necessary is because if you land the attack following a counter, it'll provide you with enough meter to pull off the Roundhouse Slash.
मेरो रेड भयो नि त bro
And this is where the circle attack comes in especially handy, since the Foresight Slash can only be
त्यसको अब
performed following an attack. In a situation where you specifically want to pull it off, pressing circle into Foresight Slash is by far the quickest way to access it. The overhead triangle attack is slower and might result in you getting hit in the process. So in a situation like this, where you can see the attack coming, a quick circle stab into Foresight Slash is a quick and easy way to pull it off. Additionally, much like the Fade Slash from before, you can also input a direction with your Foresight Slash to alter the angle that you move, so it doesn't always have to be backwards. However, where this differs to the Foresight Slash is that the direction you input should be where you want to end up. Since the Foresight Slash comes in two parts, the evade out and the fade back in, the direction you input essentially influences the fade slash back in. So if you want to evade to the right, push left. If you want to evade to the left, push right. Forward, push back, and back, push forward. Now, that's it for the basic moves, so let's very quickly talk about sliding and aerial moves. If you slide down a hill and press triangle, triangle, you'll perform a rising slash into a jumping slash, and upon completing this, you can then go directly into your default bread and butter triangle combo. However, more useful than that, if you press R2 while sliding down a hill, you can draw into a Spirit Slash, and provided you have meter, upon landing you can go directly into the Spirit Roundhouse Slash to level up your meter. So second to the Foresight Slash, this is one of the fastest ways to level up that gauge, albeit a little situational since it hinges on being on a slope, but should the opportunity present itself, definitely take advantage of this. Jumping off a ledge and pressing triangle performs a standard jumping attack, and jumping off a ledge and pressing R2 skips the first hit from the Spirit combo, allowing you to get to the Roundhouse Slash after just 3 inputs. So again, pretty handy, the angle that you move, so it doesn't
I think most
by far the quickest way to act.
अलिकति बिचमा मैले यो रेड गराउनु खोजेर अलिकति
The reason I say it's not necessary, yes, it's a little bit risky,
here चाहिँ क्विकली
you'll evade backwards, it refills also, most Spirit help
तर मोस्ट मैले कन्सेप्ट बुझेँ
pursuit. So with that in mind, once you're airborne, if you push your analog stick in the direction of the monster, or the direction that you want the hit to land, and press either triangle or circle, either one works, they're both attack buttons.
Yeah.
That'll then allow you to alter the angle or the direction of the Spirit Helm Breaker, ensuring that you always land the attack, unless of course the monster runs away.
ए म
In addition to this doing a lot of damage, if this attack lands, your Spirit Meter will also begin to autofill for a short period of time, which is great given that the attack you just performed consumed the level of your gauge, so it'll then be in your interest to work on refilling that soon after. Now this is a powerful move, and something you want to take frequent advantage of, but it's also important to know when to use it. First and foremost, Spirit Helm Breaker is also affected by the level of the Spirit Gauge. In other words, a Spirit Helm Breaker done from white gauge is not as powerful as one done from yellow, which is not as powerful as one done from red. So while it might be tempting to just use this the second you have charge, If you really want to be doing some serious damage, your playstyle should focus around building up to red meter first, and then dipping into this attack. Furthermore, I mentioned just a moment ago that following a successful Helm Breaker, your spirit gauge auto-refilled for a period of time. Well, the speed at which it refills also correlates to the level of Helm Breaker. In other words, not only does a Helm Breaker from red do more damage, but it also provides the fastest possible spirit generation too. So I can't stress enough how much red should be your priority. Even if it takes you an extra 30 seconds or even a minute to get there in combat, it's well worth it in the long run. Moving on from there, another new move introduced in World is the Foresight Slash. This is essentially your counter move. This has to follow an attack, but if you press R2 and circle together, you'll evade backwards and then move back in with the slice. Now this in itself has a very generous invulnerability window, so you can use it to dodge attacks, but there's more to it than that. If you're hit during the Foresight Slash, you'll see this blue particle effect. Following this, if you're able to land the attack when moving back in, you can then press R2 straight after to go directly into the Spirit Roundhouse Slash. In other words, the final hit of the Spirit combo that levels up your gauge. So this is, without a doubt, the fastest way to level up your meter, provided you can pull it off. Yep, if you're hit during the Foresight Slash, and then move back in with the slice. Now this in itself has a very generous invulnerability window, so you can use it to dodge attacks, but there's more to it than that. During the Foresight Slash, you'll see this blue particle effect. Following this, if you're able to land the attack when moving back in, you can then press R2 straight after to go directly into the Spirit Roundhouse Slash. In other words, the final hit of the Spirit combo that levels up your gauge. So this is, without a doubt, the fastest way to level up your meter, provided you pull it off. Yes, it's a little bit risky, but given how generous the window is, if you can get the habit of pulling this off as an attack when moving back in,
oh, I think you like you.
So you can use it to dodge attacks, but there's more to it than that. If you're hit during the Foresight Slash, you'll see this blue particle effect. Following this, if you're able to land the attack when moving back in, you can then press R2 straight after to go directly into the Spirit Roundhouse Slash. In other words, the final hit of the Spirit combo that levels up your gauge. So this is, without doubt, the fastest way to level up your meter, provided you can pull it off. Yes, it's a little bit risky, but given how generous the window is, if you can get the habit of pulling this off as the monster is running towards you, it becomes very easy to then land a follow-up attack. It's worth noting that this doesn't need Spirit Meter in order to pull off, but if you have Spirit Meter, that's the red inside the bar, not the charge on the outside. If you have this when performing the move, it will consume it anyway. The reason I say it's not necessary is because if you land the attack following a counter, it'll provide you with enough meter to pull off the Roundhouse Slash. And this is where the circle attack comes in especially handy, since the Foresight Slash can only be performed following an attack. In a situation where you specifically want to pull it off, pressing circle into the Foresight Slash is by far the quickest way to access it. The overhead triangle attack is slower and might result in you getting hit in the process. So in a situation like this, where you can see the attack coming, a quick circle stab into Foresight Slash is a quick and easy way to pull it off. Additionally, much like the Phase Slash from before, you can also input a direction with your Foresight Slash to alter the angle that you move, so it doesn't always have to be backwards. However, where this differs to the Foresight Slash is that the direction you input should be where you want to end up. Since the Foresight Slash comes in two parts, the evade out and the fade back in, the direction you input essentially influences the Fade Slash back in. So if you want to evade to the right, push left. If you want to evade to the left, push right. Forward, push back, and back, push forward. Now, that's it for the basic moves. Let's very quickly talk about sliding and aerial moves. If you slide down a hill and press triangle, triangle, you perform a rising slash into a jumping slash, and upon completing this, you can then go directly into your default bread and butter triangle combo. However, more useful than that, if you press R2 while sliding down a hill, you can draw into a Spirit Slash, and provided you have meter, upon landing, you can go directly into the Spirit Roundhouse Slash to level up your meter. So after just 3 inputs. So again, pretty handy if fighting by a ledge. As for your runnable walls, sadly there aren't any fancy moves you can do by dodging into these walls, so quite simply, running for the wall and pressing triangle again performs the jumping attack. Upon landing, you can loop back into your standard combo, and much like jumping off a ledge, pressing R2 will again allow you to skip the first hit and work into your Spirit combo quicker. So, those are all the moves. As mentioned at the beginning of the video, the longsword is a simple weapon with a few basic moves and combos, and as such, there isn't a great deal to worry about when it comes to the way you play. Your bread and butter combo has a few minor variations. Your damage will largely come from powering up through red, your Spirit combo, and the new Helm Breaker, and you have a few evasive options thanks to Fade Slash and Foresight Slash. That being said, there are still a couple of interesting things worth calling out, so very quickly, here are the core combos you'll be using. As previously mentioned, your standard triangle combo is your bread and butter move, provided...
के रे ब्रो त्यो उड्ने माथि
चार्ज गरेर हान्ने R2 र X के
R2 र X म चाहिँ चार्ज गर्छु है Okay, and then R2 or X? Yo. Basically, all I know is यो थाहा पाएँ यसले फर्स्ट स्पिरिट मिटर अफ गरे हैन यसरी हानेर त्यो रेड छ नि लेभल त्यो स्टोरको and once त्यो गरेपछि basically I have to use spirit कम्बोहरु and last final blow चाहिँ हिट गर्नै पर्छ otherwise त्यो white orange हुँदैन orange भयो नि हैन देख्यो more powerful version भयो and then फेरि again same thing combo use गरेर fill up गरे हैन and if you want to be power up हैन अलिकति or once fill up भएपछि मन एंगल कस्तो once भएपछि फेरि यो स्पिरिट युज गर्नु पर्छ ब्रो लाइक one triangle यो गरे फेरि यो गरेर तर मेरो यो फाइनल ब्लो चाहिँ हिट गर्नै पर्छ यो गोल चाहिँ रेड टर्न गर्नुको लागि 10 टर्न रेड भयो हैन यो चाहिँ मोस्ट पावरफुल भर्जन हो ब्रो ड्यामेजहरु सबै धेरै हुन्छ त्यसले तर अभियसली मेरो उद्देश्य छैन कि अहिले त्यो वेपन ब्लन्ट भइसक्यो कि अलिकति यो चाहिँ बेसिकली आई हेभ टु टर्न रेडमा रहेछ कि म्याक्सिमाइज गर्नुको लागि अनि यो फ्यूहरु कम्बोहरु Is it better यो मैले यसो गरे नि लकिङ ब्रोले लक गर्दैन है काउन्टर रहेछ यो चाहिँ or I think सबै भयो जस्तो I think I know most
ब्रोले के यो भिडियोको
206 यही हेर्छु है ब्रोको त आइस बन्द रहेछ मेरो यो चाहिँ अर्कै रहेछ ब्रो ब्रोको डाउनलोड गर्छु एकछिन एउटा क्विकली म यो लास्ट कम्बो हेर्छु यसको एडभाइस अनुसार है त्यति युजफुल कम्बो के लास्ट म दिन्छ नि ब्रोको आइस बन्द रहेछ म आइस बन्द चाहिँ एकछिन लोड गर्छु है रेडमा त 492 ड्यामेज गर्दो रहेछ ब्रो
Now, something else really useful that I want to share is an interesting follow-up option off the back of the Spirit Helm Breaker. If you complete the attack, you'll notice that you're left standing there for a second or so. You can't go straight back into the triangle combo from here, so your typical reaction would then be to evade out. However, if you factor in the foresight slash, you can also do something pretty cool. Following the Spirit Helm Breaker, if you pull off a foresight slash, then you have two options. If the stars align and the monster hits you, then perfect. You go in, press R2, and your meter is already at max. But given that doesn't always happen, all is not lost. If you perform a Fade Slash following that // then press R2 to cut into the Spirit combo, given that you've landed a Spirit Helm Breaker from red, your meter is auto-refilling pretty quickly. This refill gives you just enough time to pull off a complete Spirit combo and land that Roundhouse Slash, so even though you've just consumed red to perform the Spirit Helm Breaker, already you're back at red, provided of course the final hit lands.
Danger is in combo though, deep race.
Following the penultimate hit of the Spirit combo before you need to land the final hit, so if you don't have enough meter on first input, just hold out for half a second, press R2 again, and you'll still land it. So let's tie that all together. R2 plus triangle for Spirit Helm Breaker, R2 plus circle for // triangle plus circle into Fade Slash, then R2, 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 back into red.
Oh, यो चाहिँ combo main सिक्नु पर्दो रहेछ.
Spirit Helm Breaker is, without question, your biggest damage dealing move. A Spirit Helm Breaker from red does more damage than your entire Spirit combo put together. However, as with anything in Monster Hunter, you can't always just default to one standalone move. Yes, in an ideal situation where the monster is knocked over or trapped, then for sure Spirit Helm Breaker is your best move. But if you're fighting a moving target, and you aren't sure if you're able to land the move, then your Spirit combo is the next best bet. While the combo helps build meter, it's also high damage, especially if done from red. So if you decide you don't have the opening, and it's just not the right time for the Helmbreaker, don't be afraid to use the Spirit combo for damage. In fact, if you're using it for damage, you could also work in those extra 2 triangle attacks at the beginning for some extra hits too. By using this move, you're also simultaneously keeping your meter topped up, which then ensures that you're doing the most damage possible, and you're ready to pull off that Helmbreaker when the opening presents itself. So, to round this out, the Longsword is a powerful weapon offering incredible reach and mobility, and thanks to its relatively simple moveset, it's also a very easy weapon to pick up. However, on that very note, I want to end this tutorial by making a very important point. If you're going to pick up the Longsword, your positioning in combat is incredibly important, especially if you're playing in a team. In previous entries in the series, Longsword users had a bit of a bad rep, and that's because your weapon trips your teammates. If you stand there just wailing on the monster with no regard for your team, you'll be tripping them up. Not only does this stop them attacking and lowering your team's overall damage output, but it's also just incredibly frustrating to be on the receiving end of. Given the long blade, you have plenty of places to attack: the tail, the wings, the legs. Just try to think before you dive in. Think about where your team is. If you can be mindful of others when using this weapon, then you'll be dishing out some great damage, cutting tails, and your team will love you. But that, my friends, is it for this episode. Hopefully you guys found...
Bro, यो swordले त ब्रोहरूलाई नि लाग्छ हो. एकदम त्यही भने त्यस अकॉर्डिङ टु यो लाइक bit of a bad reputation छ अरे नि त यो swordको टिम वर्कमा चाहिँ.
नकडाउन हुन्छ होला तर उ त फ्रेन्डली फायर त हुँदैन.
फ्रेन्डली फायर हुँदैन. ओके. अलराइट ब्रोके हेर्छु त यो कुन चाहिँ हो मोन्स्टर हन्टर आइसबोर्न वालाको रहेछ. Iceborne was the best longsword, eh?
Welcome to my Weapon Master Guide for the newest expansion to Monster Hunter World, Iceborne. These are advanced guides that go past the basics and straight into what really matters, the more...
That is 2 minutes,
Hey, what's going on, guys? Arx here. I was the Monster Hunter World Iceborne...
के रे ब्रो? ए नयाँ सुरुदेखि हेर्छु है त है. अनि यो आइसबोर्नको सेम हुन्छ नि हैन ब्रो? अनि अघि सिकेको र योसमा के डिफरेन्ट? So will I get this move though your base game ma? Yo, okay.
What's going on, guys? Arx here. I was the Monster Hunter World Iceborne beta running both this weekend and next. I thought it'd be handy to put together some quick guides going over the new moves for each weapon, how to use them, what they do, basically everything you need to know to dive in and get started. I'll be doing one of these for each weapon, so be sure to keep it locked and turn on those notifications so you don't miss the other videos. And of course, if you do enjoy this, then a like would be super appreciated, and don't forget to let me know what you want to see next. But in this video, we're going to be taking a look at everyone's favourite anime weapon, the Longsword. The Longsword in Iceborne got a whole lot of love. Whoever was in charge of adding flair and style to this weapon clearly went on a full anime and samurai movie binge beforehand, because what we have, it's beautiful. The Longsword gets a new mechanic known as Special Sheath. Following any attack, you press R2 and X to assume this Special Sheath stance, like some kind of wannabe Himura Kenshin. You can hold the stance itself for a few seconds, but from here you then have two options. Pressing triangle, perform the EI slash, and pressing R2 will perform the EI spirit slash. Starting with the EI slash, if this attack lands, it'll cause your spirit gauge to automatically increase, in a very similar manner to how it does following a spirit health breaker. This makes it an exceptional move to work into any aspect of combat, since it'll help you keep your spirit meter topped up more frequently. Additionally, since this doesn't cost any meters to use, it's without question going to form a core part of your bread and butter playstyle moving forward. Work this in mid-combo to give your spirit meter some boost whilst attacking, and again, you'll be ready to whip out those spirit slashes more frequently. Also, since the special sheath can be worked in after practically any move, it can be a great way to remove those vulnerable windows after moves such as the Spirit Health Breaker. However, the other option from this sheath is to press R2 to perform the EI Spirit Slash. This is a powerful attack, but it also consumes one level of your spirit meter upon using it, unless you time it perfectly. See, there's a very tight window with this move that is akin to that of Valor or Brave Longsword in Monster Hunter Generations Ultimate. See, if you perform this move just as you're about to be hit, it'll act like a counter, and not only will you go through the attack, but it also won't consume a level of your gauge, so this truly does reward perfect timing.
Dummy रहेछ त यो sword त bro.
Something else very important to note, and this is probably going to make Longsword an incredibly popular choice in Iceborne, is that Special Sheath will actually benefit from the Quick Sheath Armor skill and the EI attacks.
After an attack, press R2 and X pressing that after an attack. मेरो त हुँदैन त भयो आइसबोर्नको ब्रो मेरो भएन यार सिथ कर्नरको R2 र X थिज भनिरहेछ What's happening? So you हुँदैन मलाई basically apply. I'm trying, you know, like it doesn't like activate. यो भिडियोमा क्या दामी देखिरहेछ क्या समुराई जस्तै लाइक सिथ गरेर क्या चुट काटिरहेको छ So definitely you हुँदैन है एकखेप म फुल हेरौँ कि नहेरौँ
Since their draw attacks benefit from both critical draw and punishing draw skills. So when the game launches, we'll be able to make some pretty spicy builds around this playstyle. However, that aside, we do have a couple more things to play with. Following a Spirit Slash, press L2 to perform a Slinger Burst. This is the powerful Slinger shot, provided of course you still have Slinger Ammo. This also does not interrupt your Spirit Slash flow, so much like you can work regular attacks in between Spirit Slashes, you do the same with the Slinger Burst too. Assuming this causes the monster to flinch, this also gives you a great opening to finish the Spirit Roundhouse Slash. And of course, finally we have the Clutch Claw. Pressing L2 to take aim and then pressing circle you can grapple onto a monster, and pressing triangle will perform the weapon-specific attack, which for the longsword is this mid-air sword plant. Now, given the longsword's light nature, it'll result in slinger ammo dropping from the monster, meaning that you can use this to
I don't think it'll happen near my
pretty handy. Now that's pretty much it for the time being. Let's quick look at the longsword's new moves. Remember that I will be doing a full in-depth tutorial for all weapons come Iceborne's launch, but for now, this will give you what you need to get started this weekend. I really hope you guys enjoyed that video. Remember to hit that subscribe button and also click on the little bell icon to turn on notifications so you don't miss my next upload. Also don't forget, you can check out Tuscana Paradise Central streaming over on Twitch 6 days a week. Find links to the whole stream down below. Be sure to drop by and get involved. Thanks again for watching. Take it easy. Catch you next time. Peace out.
Baby combo bro. मैले एउटा डेन्जर कम्बो गरेर रेडमा गरे नि ब्रो व्हाइट देखि डाइरेक्टली ओरेन्ज रेड भयो यो रहेछ नि त मेन कम्बो ट्रायंगल 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 थिच्ने है and then once they fill गर्छ you can do this कता पुग्यो हो I see अर्को थिङ चाहिँ रेडमा मेरो क्या वेपन क्या रेडमा त्यो क्या विच स्टोन गर्नुपर्ने क्या त्यो ब्लन्ट भयो नि के हुँदैन रहेछ Now what I do? You raise a number. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I do. Miss भयो नि यार मिस भयो नि एकैचोटी मिस नभएको डाइरेक्टली त्यो कलर चेन्ज हुन्छ and then go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and then go like directly this one. देखियो रेडमा गयो नि भयो you see that? That's the best combos लाग्यो bro. तर हेल ब्रेकर चाहिँ एकदमै इम्पोर्टेन्ट रहेछ bro. हेल ब्रेकर र the last beat को के त्यो स्पिड राइजिङमा क्या रेड ड्रप गरे देख्यो डाइरेक्टली उतैदेखि रेड फ्रम ब्ल्याङ्क देखि रेड त्यो इम्पोर्टेन्ट रहेछ तर एकछिन मात्रै रेड हुँदैछ ओके Okay, happen. Look, I think. Okay, let's go. 4 side there's a R2. I missed it, Mia. Okay, this is not good. यो घुम्ने एकदमै इम्पोर्टेन्ट रहेछ हिट गर्नै पर्ने रहेछ Alright, done. Okay, combat IS go. So top up गर्नु पर्दै रहेछ and then hell razor use गरेर next level मा जानु पर्दै रहेछ and then only white भएपछि मात्रै यो गर्नु मिल्दो रहेछ ब्रो यो move के यो चाहिँ सबभन्दा डेन्जरस मुभ रहेछ सबभन्दा मोस्ट ड्यामेज गर्ने मुभ रेटमा गर्दैन ओके यो पनि सबै बुझ्यो ब्रो ए म छ नि म खाएर आउँछु नि है कस्तो भोक पो लाग्यो यार अनि वी क्यान डु अ क्वेस्ट है फार्म गर्नुको लागि क्या क्विकली म खान्छु खान त्यस्तै 10-15 मिनट लाग्छ होला मलाई है फोन अफ गरिदिन्छु है ब्रो है म फेरि रिङ गर्छु एकछिन रिचार्ज पनि गरिदिन्छु है